for y'all?
It's a deep love affair.
You don't see this every day.
That stretches back centuries.
Thank you.
Which may explain why Richmonders
It's so good.
will brave bone-chilling temperatures
All right, what can I get for you?
to savor ice-cold beer.
This is the Apocalypse Ale.
The craft beer industry in Virginia is bubbling over.
There's character in this beer.
Home to 90 licensed breweries,
Legend, Devil's Backbone,
a dozen in the River City alone.
Ardent Hardywood.
And that number is growing.
There's more. I'm missing like half a dozen.
Richmond is bellying up to the bar,
It's a true destination.
taking its place alongside established and respected craft beer beacons like Asheville and Denver.
So it's kind of a good starter beer, apparently, which is great for me.
It's growing by the minute.
At the new Ardent Craft Ales and Scots edition, founder Tom Sullivan says his customers are developing a refined taste.
I think there's just been a return to craft-made, handmade things. People are excited to know that the beer they're drinking is made right down the street.
7 stories high, rising up behind me. It must have just been an awesome sight.
Did you want another?
Historian Mike Gorman leads visitors on tours of Richmond's booming beer scene, past and present.
Getting people excited about the city itself. And I think that's all things we can point to as an upward trend.
The River City's reputation as a serious town for Suds is gaining momentum. Stone Brewing Company is building a massive East Coast distribution center along the James River, creating nearly 300 jobs. Attracted by generous city and state incentives, the San Diego-based craft beer behemoth will add to the city's hopping landscape.
Cheers.
But the relationship between brewers and city and civic leaders hasn't always been this cozy in the Commonwealth.
Beer has been part of the Richmond social fabric since there's even before been a Richmond.
Journalist Harry Kolach Jr. says in the early 1900s, the city's thirst for beer could not be quenched. 3 local and 3 national breweries hummed,
It was huge business.
churning out barrel after barrel.
One of the articles that I've read said there were 2 or 3 saloons on every city block along Main Street.
The ever-present beer coupled with hard liquor made the city a lively place, a little too lively for some.
Richmond, in the early part of the 20th century, was a city of 200 saloons and 200 churches.
You can definitely see the dark clouds on the horizon for Richmond's drinking culture.
Groups such as the Anti-Saloon League and Women's Christian Temperance Union wanted to stop the flow,
Yes, it could get really raucous.
arguing that demon alcohol was the root of all social evils, ruining homes, families, and fortunes.
So you've got people really trying to figure out how to control behavior.
Their spirited anti-alcohol argument gained traction.
It was a huge social issue.
Brewers, tavern owners, and drinkers weren't turning the tap off without a fight.
It's easy to understand how within cities there was dramatic opposition to Prohibition.
Then in 1914, after long, heated debates, the question boiled down to what voters wanted: go dry or stay wet. By a substantial 2-to-1 margin, Prohibition passed.
Virginia was 2 years ahead of the rest of the country, voted to go dry.
November 1st, 1916 was the day of reckoning.
When midnight hit, church bells rang, and that was it. It was all over.
It was a huge decision.
The Library of Virginia's Greg Kimball says Prohibition crippled lucrative industries across the Commonwealth.
Well, obviously, it just completely took out some of the major businesses, the breweries, the distilleries.
And think about all the tax revenue. Think about all the jobs. Just disappeared.
People still thirsting for alcohol were forced to go underground, giving rise to gangs and criminal enterprises like smuggling spirits.
Many, many gallons of it were hoarded away in basements for private parties.
But with the country in the throes of the Great Depression, the pendulum would swing the other way. Americans demanded access to alcohol legally. With the national repeal of Prohibition in 1933, 17 long years after voting to go dry, beer started flowing again through Richmond.
History goes in cycles.
Breweries and bars would throw their doors open, but brewing would not reach the same fevered pitch till recently.
It really speaks to the shortness of what can happen in 100 years.
In 2012, a change in state laws loosened the reins, allowing entrepreneurs to brew and sell their liquid goods on site to beer aficionados and novices alike.
I think it's coming back in a way. You had your neighborhood saloon, now you have almost your local brewer.
We'll never go thirsty here in Richmond, no.
Lee Graves, author of Richmond Beer, says the craft beer revolution is fueling the economy and showing no signs of slowing down.
These small breweries are creating jobs, they're creating revenue streams, they're paying taxes, they're paying utility bills.
Did you want another?
At Legend Brew Pub in Manchester, Vice President Dave Grott takes great pride knowing he helped pave the way.
We are the oldest operating microbrewery in Virginia.
He welcomes more craft competition into the fold.
It's a friendly group. We get along. We all like each other.
Dave and his fellow brewers are creating blue ribbon beers while keeping Virginia in the black. The economic impact of Virginia's beer industry is a stout $660 million annually, pushing Prohibition further and further in the rearview mirror. But signs of that dark drain chapter remain in Richmond. In the middle of Bird Park, you'll find a fountain championing the anti-alcohol crusade.
It really lends a kind of a colorful twist to it all.
Brewer Dave Grott says perhaps it's only fitting that while a river of beer flows across Virginia, at this particular fountain, you won't find one single drop of water.
The temperance movement was big here. We got a monument to it. It's good that people don't forget. Maybe it's good that monument's up. And maybe it's good it's running dry to remind us.